Okay, it's about that time, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm Keith Foley. I draw stuff and people pay me sometimes, and that's cool. Today I am working on LaCluck. Let's go ahead and go over to the main screen. Boom, there we go. So today I'm working on LaCluck. And this is for Wander of the Cult of Barnacle Bay's expansion, LaCluck's Revenge. Obviously, this is the big bad since her name is LaCluck. Make sure, if you guys are tuning in or watching this on YouTube, to like, subscribe, post, comment, whatever, share. I appreciate it. Spreading the word out would be cool. I like painting and drawing and doing all sorts of stuff on here, and any response people give me is great. I love seeing it. Like last time, we learned about fun Dutch words, like, I can't remember them exactly, but they combine things. I learned that a refrigerator is called a cool closet, or a bed with a desk under it is just simply called the tall bed, which is amazing, and I love it. Anyways, yeah, so like, subscribe, post, comment, etc. I am on Instagram and Twitch and Facebook as Art of HF. I just made it all consistent so I didn't have to spell anything out anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, I'm gonna get working on this bad boy. Sorry I missed last Thursday. I was sick. I had the fever and hot sweats, cold sweats, shaking through the night, that kind of thing. It was fun in a horrific kind of way. Yeah, so good times, but I'm back at it and I'm feeling better, and my dog's nuzzling at my elbow because she wants attention. But I'm streaming, Boba. I can't pet you right now. Oh my god, she's being so patient. It's adorable. She's got the wettest nose humanly possible. Anyways, I'm gonna get on here and start doing some stuff. Actually, I think... Oh boy, that's just missing color. That is not okay. We're gonna get in here, select, modify, expand. Woo! Alright, flat colors are done. Bubba, get out of here. She's adorable. I love her to death, but when she wants attention, she is a brat. Nope. Nope, not. I don't need to. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, here we go. And everything shifted. Alright, we're good. We're back. Woo! Alright, so last week where we left off was finishing up the line work and getting flat colors in, and I discovered a new working process, which is pretty rad. Oh. Oh no. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I think I messed up one thing. We'll do that. We'll go up here. Yeah, because I think... Yeah, that's fine. I'll deal. So here is LaCluck. So now it is time for shadows. And as this typically goes, I like to go zone by zone. So we'll start on our coat. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything, feel free to let me know what is up. I always appreciate them. Shadows. Oh, also sorry last week that for some reason my video didn't record all the way. It just stopped like 6 minutes in, so I didn't load anything up on YouTube. That's my bad. Not quite sure what the deal is, but you know, I'm sure I'll eventually figure it out. Figure out what this whole business is about. Let's sample all layers. How about that? So I noticed that some of the line art there's a little bit of a gap in it, so I'm gonna try and fix that with a little trick I know. Just in case, because sometimes you save these files as a PNG, which allows transparency, so I can just load a image into a thing and it won't be a problem, but that can cause some issues. So anyhow, what are we going to work on? We're going to work on her coat. coats are fun. So first things first is, so I'm going to get some dark stuff there. I'm going to get ready to work on this. All right, first of all, I need to do this too. Hide my window over here so I can work on the side. I think I want to shuffle because I've heard this multiple times. Nice. All right, so first of all, with shadows, I'm going to do some, let me see. I'm going to do some soft line work first. Yeah, that's right. I want to check my flow, my funky fresh flow. All I'm trying to do is give this a little bit of roundness. Actually, she is a giant on fire ghost pirate chicken captain. There would not be much. Is it really the dark red I picked? I guess so. Well, not bad. Oh my god, my computer is whirring like crazy right now. I'm not quite sure why. You know, sometimes it just does these things. Right now, all I'm doing is just adding some kind of unique shapes to some of these wrinkles and folds. It will. And yeah, there's always foul play with LaCluck. She's at the top of the pecking order. She's got a leg up on her competition. She's a little bit of a bird brain, but you know, we won't fry her for it. Dude, Reyna is dope. I've seen people do. That's awesome. You were playing Wonder the other weekend, man. That's rad. Nah, Reyna is. She can be really friggin' cool if you know how to use her right. Actually, we played a campaign where I can't remember what happened. Someone spawned a Mega Brute, and then they were playing as Reyna, and they just jumped out of there and abandoned the party, and everyone died. It was hilarious. So what'd you actually do that ended up losing you the game? Don't worry, I won't judge you too hard. Yeah. Well, not to mention, Reyna's got a lance, so she can just, like, bamf out if she wants to. You know, being able to attack from one space away as a melee character, like, I don't understand why more people don't try and do it in that game. It's such a nice little advantage. Dude, we were actually beta testing LaCluck, or LaCluck's Revenge the other night, and we did the exact same thing. One of us just wasn't paying attention, right? But yeah, either Jonathan or I weren't paying attention. One of us got to tier 4 spawn and just got wrecked. You know, relatively unpleasant experience. Looks pretty good. Alright, let's get a little gold action going here. I think I remember playing with you once where, like, Jonathan and I made a, what was it? We made those Trixie cards. And we were like, no one in their right mind would play these. And then I think you immediately were like, no, we're absolutely doing this. And I think you ended up killing her, or killing the Mega Brute that we spawned, which was pretty funny. I love it when people go for Trixie. Like, it makes, to me, for the risk-reward situation, it makes 0 sense to go for. But we just threw it in there because we know people are crazy. All right, to be fair, you knew I was a little bit less certain. But I'm always going to play cautious. I think every time I've ever played aggressively, it's always ended really badly. Yeah, the timing's right. You can say that about anything. Mm-hmm. Also, if any of you are wondering who Jonathan feels bad for is over here in the chat. I don't even know why I'm introducing you, man. 90% of the people that watch this thing are people who already know me. So, unless someone's new comes in here, which, hi, Jonathan is the co-designer, co-owner of Wander, the Cult of Barnacle Bay, and he is the lead designer at Panda Cult Games. He does some good stuff, it's fine. I haven't introduced you two guys yet? Aw. That's my bad. You guys actually grew up in the same area, believe it or not. Trying to think of what I want to tackle next. I think of these. Oh, was that on the flats layer? Oh no, it was. Son of a. Oh, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Oh no, I'm a professional and I screwed up something. Oh, thanks, buddy. Welcome back. I was just telling people about your cool closet. The coolest closet. All the cow water in it. I think I actually need to soften this up a little bit here. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. The coolest of all. Welcome back, man. Glad to have you. Feel bad, man. We had such good rapport on last Tuesday, but then I nearly died on Thursday. Just kidding, that's over dramatic. I got sick. I think I ate a strawberry that was jacked up, and it messed up my entire system. But I didn't die. It's alright, I'm fine. Now. Yeah, strawberry. Or, as you guys know it, red sweet fruit. Yeah, I think that's what did it. I have no idea, man. For a second, I had aches and chills and fever and ARD by... Nice. I probably butchered that. Forgive me. But yeah, for a second, all the same symptoms. Like, I had some crossover with what you're supposed to have with coronavirus, which for about a split second, I had 100-degree temperature, and I was like, oh boy. But then after it calmed down and I went and got tested, I was like, nah, it's fine. Turns out the results were negative, so I am 100% good to go. Had to double check though. During the day, I work in an architecture firm. I gotta make sure I'm not like threatening people there. What will we work on next? I feel like his helmet. Well, it turns out it's going to be his helmet, his sword, and his belt. Yeah, I'm glad to be back too, man. It's weird. Like, drawing once a week is not enough. Man, if I had one job drawing all day long, that would be the best thing. Well, technically, I draw all day long. No, I just do marketing stuff. Like coloring site plans and elevations and getting things ready for presentations and stuff. If you're an artist and you got one job, that's pretty impressive. It's not an easy thing. I do draw breath. Thank you, Will. That was very poetic. All day, every day. Can't stop, won't stop. Hashtag blessed. Since you guys are on two different platforms, I'm not sure if Will can see your comments or not, or is watching them. I do have a multi-stream. That's what someone told me to do, so I did it. Here we are. You know, I don't know what artists stream on, to tell you the truth. I don't know if they do YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or if there's a primary one. It seems like Twitch is pretty popular for it, so even though when I looked up Twitch and I looked on their art streams and it was anime women. That was like 99% of it, and I was just like, whoa, okay. Nothing wrong with that. Just seemed like a lot. Like every single one was that. And I'm sure they get plenty of views. Not how I operate, but... And nothing saying against anything. If you want to draw anime girls all day long, feel free. That is up to you, my friends. Anime and D&D characters, yeah, that's fair. It's actually funny, I'm getting ready to embark on a D&D campaign with some buddies of mine. And, I can always do that. I can always draw a D&D character as my guy on here. Which I'm going to be playing a Dragonkin Bard. Which is really different for me, because 99% of the time I do not play a soft class. Yeah, I could. That is true. I am open to commissions. I'm sure that would interest someone out there. I did an excellent one for Tristan, which turned out really nice. That's a fun one to work on too. It's like a dragon warden. Oh man, I'll tell you what though. Dark skinned pirate harpoon wheeler, ex-whaler. Nice. That's cool. Wields a harpoon for a weapon, right? Yeah. How does a warden in Dark Age of Camelot work, Will? That's never a game I got into, not because of lack of wanting to, just never learned anything about it. Elizabeth Warden. Dude, that reminds me of when I was playing Final Fantasy and I saw a character whose character name was Hilary Duff, and I was just like, that is magnificent. Hilary Duff. God damn it, it still makes me mad with how good of a name it was. I think I ran up to her character, gave her gold, and just ran off because I was so, like, proud and sad I didn't think of that amazing name. Elizabeth Warden. Huh. Also a cleric named Mad Dick. Oh god. Well, I mean, my understanding of the clergy is generally they're mad that YouTube. That's right. Gotta remember. Can't blatantly lay out some non-PG goodness. Anyways, yeah, fun times. Oh, medic. That's clever. I thought it was going in a different direction. Something a little bit more lewd. If you catch my drift. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie. If someone was like, hey, you want to play this class? It's bad at melee, bad at heals, but it's got great buffs, I'd be like, no. I need something that's like great damage or great heals or great tanking. Not sure if I could take something in between those things. We're just going to apply a little bit shadow to imply kind of rounded bottomness to these off bits. There we go. Yeah, man. I remember we had a discussion about rogues. Actually, in WoW, I'm playing an Arms Warrior and a Enhancement Chamois right now. Just something satisfying about running up to a thing, smashing it, and watching the damage happen. Alright, I need to do something because this is bothering me. Huh, weird. That'll probably look a little bit better. Yep. I get it, man. Sometimes you gotta step away from that stuff. For your own health. I'm just such a filthy casual right now. Son of a bee. Where is it? Yeah. That's pretty good. But yeah, I'm actually excited about this D&D campaign though. My buddy Ben has thrown it together, and he's been running these things for years, so I'm sure he's going to do a great job. We got a really weird party. We're going to have a druid who wants to be a squirrel all the time, And our other buddy wants to be a gnome who lives in the woods, kind of like a hobo, so that'll be fun. Oh, dude, yeah. I did arena back in Wrath of the Lich King on my rogue. After I like the PvE stuff, I was doing so much damage. I was like, I'll go into PvP. How terrible of a transition could this be? Yeah, that was a rough transition there. It was fun for a while though. But yeah, I can't imagine with the corruption stuff. It being any degree of fun, honestly. It just changes so many rules and so many variables. Oh, wrong layer. My B-dog. There we go. Alright. Actually work on the proper layer. Like, I just did some, like, my buddy and I made Resto Shammy, and he did an Arms Warrior. And we made some tunes and went into some PvP just to see what it was about. And we got crushed, man. It was rough. Yeah, we did PvP in a freaking... That was something I noticed, too. A lot of Chaos Vaults wrecking me. Anyways, I don't think you're missing out on much, man. Let's see, I want to add some... Get some real purposeful lines in here. Yeah. Well, they got WoW Classic, man. If vanilla was your jam, it is there. I'll be honest, WoW has turned into a super casual game. Super casual. And I don't mind it. I'm married, I'm settled down, and the idea of like being super grindy in a thing, it's not really my jam anymore. I got enough stresses, I got enough things that I'm working actively towards, so can't dedicate a ton of time to a thing. So super casual retail WoW, it works. You get a couple hours in and walk away and not worry too much about it. It's really nice because of that. But like I said, man, they got Classic out there if that's your jam. I tried playing it. I never played Vanilla WoW, and I'll be honest, I'm so used to retail now. I was just kind of like, the quality of life stuff is super good. Anyways, well, I'm glad you guys are having fun with Daok. Jonathan's told me multiple times that like that was like his heyday RPG game or MMO game. Nothing quite like those games that you played 20 years ago that still have a good grip on you. Let me try something here. Right. You know what I've actually been getting a lot into recently is freaking My Hero Academia. It's been a while since I found a good anime that I was really getting into. God, that show sunk its claws into me. Like, I know it's like a Shonen Jump kind of thing, but yeah, it's just been fun. I don't care if anyone wants to talk about it, I just wanted to say it. Alright. Man, shadows are coming along on this guy. Sweet. Let me see what else I want to get to here. Yeah, man. I think I'm on season like 3 or 4. It gets really good. I mean, it was kind of consistently good the whole time, so... yeah. Well, the thing is, too, is like All Might in that show, like, I mean, representation of America is he also does, like, even though he does have his like feeble inward moments, he still comes out strong. And he's always very caring. I wish that was America right now. That'd be freaking awesome. But, anyways, political. No, I didn't realize, or I at least didn't remember when I was watching the show that he was supposed to be an American hero that came over to Japan. Because like all his moves are like Oklahoma or Tennessee Smash, or there's one point where he like goes all out and he says United States of Smash, and I'm just like, yes, it's got me hook, line, and sinker, man. Which is weird. Normally, I'm not down for that sort of thing, but for some reason, this show has got me good. Like, you know, our generation was the type that grew up with Dragon Ball Z and stuff, so that's kind of what we had to go off of. But even Dragon Ball Z, it's like the planet's gonna explode, and then 5 minutes later, or the planet's gonna explode in 5 minutes, and 36 episodes later it finally does, and you're just like, okay, cool. They do good progress and they make some cool things happen. I dig it. What, Goku, All Might, or the Connecticut Compromise? Nice. Connecticut Compromise. Yeah, what would actual America representing All Might look like? All right. Sorry, in a rendering frenzy right now. You'd just be the sneakiest hero of all time. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be really entertained by that. Man, throwing shadows on a thing is always interesting. It just gives it a certain depth. We should make a board game where we each play a role in a company attempting to make a board game. That'd be boring. There'd be two people. And you just constantly compromise on who needs to do what. I can already see it now. You have tokens for tiredness. If you gather too many, you just bomb. You put your board game on Kickstarter. Oh no, it wasn't received well. That game would be too real. No one would be able to make it. Board Game Tycoon. Spend all your money, get none of it back. I'm pretty sure a board game about making board games would be too depressing. I'm not gonna lie. People would be like, really? This is how it works? And we're like, yeah. It's not what you think it is. I actually had an idea for a game that was to make a marble statue. So, like, you gotta chisel it and do all this different stuff and, you know, work on sketches of it and whatnot. And a freaking company came out and made it. I was a little envious. Man, it's getting too real, Will. It's getting way too real. Global pandemic, all production. Just call it Act of God. That's what the insurance companies call it. Act of God. Something heinous happens. Your game's now a month late. People are pissed. Oh no, one of the people at your company said something on social media. You now have to clean it up. That's not us. We've actually been perfectly fine on that front, but it has been known to happen. Someone, especially right now. There is truth in this art. I don't know where, but there is. Alright. Let me see. I never finished doing the gold stuff, and I did a real lazy job on this belt buckle here, so I'm going to do a little adjustment. I think I can do it better. There we go. That looks a little bit better. That sounds like YouTube just decided to stop playing music. Let me check. Yep. Doesn't give me my continuous amount of funky beats. How am I supposed to work under these conditions? Funky Eats. Oh yeah. That'd be a neat event. You want to go to this new restaurant? Sure, what's it called? Funky Eats? What? Just imagining their entire menu consisting of like weird cheeses that they found. Nice. I can see that. That should be pretty funny to watch. Someone who's like a food critic within a game world. Save real quick just to make sure I'm not losing anything. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Oh. Sorry, I was sitting on my foot. Oh, it's a little sore. All right, let me see. What do I need to work on next here? I want to save the fire for last because it's going to be pretty involved. I've gotten a lot more of it than I thought I would. I think I'm going to work on his feet and legs and then get working on the blade, the gun next. By the way, for anyone who's watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, post, comment, whatever. More than happy to hear comments, suggestions, anything like that. You can find me on Facebook at ArtofHF, as well as Instagram at ArtofHF, and also on Twitch at ArtofHF. I made it consistent. Woo! Just made the most sense. May have gone a little aggressive there, but I think I can fix it. Awesome. Also, welcome, Drew. And tell Alex thank you. I appreciate that. Man, I'm taking the beats. You know, actually thinking about it, I need to handle this differently. There we go. Oh. That's why. Oh. No, this is not based off an existing character. Well, actually, kind of is. So, you know, I grew up with movies like Peter Pan. So Captain Hook out of that movie was a big inspiration for my colors on that character. So Captain Hook's got a lot of red, he's got a black hat, he's got some gold trim. So those are kind of what I base those colors off of. And the ghostly bits, I don't know, that's kind of a mixture of things. Seeing ghost things like Casper the Ghost and Pirates of the Caribbean, things like that, it all adds up. But yeah, I'd have to say Captain Hook from Peter Pan. That was a big inspiration for this. We're going to have to darken up some line work. Yeah, if Alex has got any more questions for me, Drew, shoot them my way. Hopefully. Yep, cross the zombie pirate LaCluck in his flaming voodoo cannonball form. True story. I'm having some issues. There we go, that's why. Alright, I need to do a little line work adjustment here. Darken this up. That looks a little bit more appropriate. Yeah, all his clothes are ghostly. So basically, all his clothes are actually like his sword, well, cutlass, hat, clothes, gun, all of that are his actual real clothes that he... Drew, how PC do I need to make this explanation? It's a concept of the mortal coil, something that has been discussed, or should I soften it up? Because I can absolutely soften it up. Soft answer, yes, they are ghostly pants. He took all his clothes with him to the grave, and they resurrected with him. So, if I could be a little dark. Oh yeah, so you guys get it. So basically, in my mind, LaCluck... Okay, I'm not going to go too dark, because I don't want to, because there's enough darkness out there right now. Hold on, I'm hitting a line here. Nice. Basically, LaCluck and her pirate crew were once sailing into Barnacle Bay and basically were betrayed by the mayor there, Mayor Platypus. So in the process, he tricked them and their ship sank deep in Chopscotch Bay. So in the process of sinking, LaCluck cursed the town and all of her treasure. So in the process of her actually sinking in the ship and drowning, all of her clothes, all of her coats and cutlasses and all her gold and treasure, all that stuff remains, so that still exists. But she's basically haunting her old bones back to life and haunting her own ghost, or haunting her old skeleton, which is the reason why she's got all her pants and old gear on, and why it's not all ghostly. Her spirit is the ghost. She's basically haunting her clothes and old weapons and controlling them. Hopefully that's an apt enough explanation for it. Yeah. You know, that is a good question. If a ghost is wearing its old... Is a ghost actually wearing its old clothing, or is it wearing ghost clothes that's a representation of it? Yeah. You should not be a big fan of Platypus. He's kind of a scoundrel. Let's say he's the mayor of the city, but he's got a historical... his family generationally has done not a lot of good for Barnacle Bay. Let's just put it this way. He's kind of the one who opened the gates to Elderbane to begin with. What do I need to work on next? I got the feet, I got the claws, I did all that stuff. I'm going to work on the gun. Because I want to. Oh no, I did it on the wrong layer again. That's okay. Alex says, his wobbly Komodo dragon were there, he'd crush him, as long as he could maintain his balance swinging that Morningstar of his. Yeah, man, probably. I don't know, LaCluck's kind of the big bad. A giant Morningstar would absolutely do some damage, but he's a ghost. How do you know if that Morningstar can actually hit him? Cause that damage. You may need help from the other Wanderers from the Wanderers Guild. Cluck is not an enemy to be trifled with. I love the fact that it's a wobbly Komodo dragon too. Those are my favorite. Oh, the mayor. Yeah, totally. Nah, your wobbly Komodo dragon could absolutely destroy the mayor, buddy. Just next time you play that scenario, just smash them good. But then again, Wanderers don't just destroy people. Sadly. Some of them deserve it, but, you know. Alright, I think that's pretty good for the shadows. Alright, so now we're going to do something a little trickier. Go shadows. Let's see how this goes. Thank you. I'll tell you what, you have my full permission at the end of the scenario to smash the mayor in the barrel after you escort him to the point. Yeah, take it easy, Drew. Appreciate you dropping in, man. So I'm not entirely sure if this is how you render a ghost form, but I'm just gonna kind of go with it because I don't know any better. Ghosts are what you want them to be. You know what? Alright, let's change this back. Multiply and keep the good times rolling. Nope, stop it. Oh, what's up, Tristan? Good to see you, man. You caught the tail end of one of these. Hooray! I didn't just bail for whatever reason. Welcome. Yeah, real busy, man. I have been, well, between trying to get Shovel Knight to Kickstarter, or not Kickstarter, trying to get Shovel Knight into Chinese production, which we are officially underway, and being sick, you know, keeps you busy. Came down with a pretty nasty stomach thing that lasted 3 days on Thursday. Hence the non-stream, which I feel bad about. I don't want to not stream for whatever reason, but you know, I figure if I'm having some intestinal issues, I figure that's a pretty good excuse not to do it. But besides that, man, good, just busy. What about you? Yeah, it was bad. Nice. Nothing like catching up on that backlog, man. Oh man, Control was a lot of fun. It was just super weird. The like constant degree of that. For some reason, something about the environment and some of the controls were a little. Oh. But the controls were it was a fun game. It's just it made me a little uncomfortable at one point or another, just physically uncomfortable. Like something about how she was flying around and a couple other things, but it was really, really, really enjoyable and unique. And I enjoyed Jedi Fallen Order too. I love Bloodborne, Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 3 too. But yeah, man, Jedi Fallen Order, it felt a lot like that. There were some things that were really frustrating about it. Like some of those shock troopers got a little annoying to deal with. But God, some points of that game made me rage. Like the final boss fight, boof. But ultimately, it was still a lot of fun. Yeah, feel free, bud. What's up? Yeah, probably. So, one of the problems I've run into with Wander is breaking certain. So, there's a real easy way to add feminine features to a thing, which is doing thin waists, large hips, breasts, that kind of thing. LaCluck isn't feminine. She's no, you're fine, man. She's a ghost pirate chicken captain who doesn't traditionally fall into a feminine role, you might say. So I think, yeah, people are going to confuse her for a guy. It doesn't really bother me. There are ways I can make this more feminine, but I try to bulk at a lot of those. One of my biggest problems is, how do you make a character feminine? Like, I'm watching a lot of animes right now, and I say animes plural. I'm watching one anime, and part of the problem I have is that a female character is, if she's, she could be strong and powerful, but her outfit has to be skin tight, or she has to wear something revealing her boobs, or they've got to be huge or sticking out, or she's got a cute butt and thin waist and big bust, and it's like, that's fine. But the problem is that there's different formats of being feminine. That you can be feminine and you could have a non-traditional feminine form. I mean, I think you know all this. It's not an arguable fact. But the problem is that with how Wonder is with the animal characters is that there's going to be a misconception. If I start sexualizing these characters, and I say sexualizing them not in the sense of, drawing them bent over and you can see a lot of cleavage. If I start adding any kind of overtly sexual things, like if I draw boobs and big hips on one of these characters, I threw the entire design aesthetic of the game into a dangerous precedent of, what's the best example I can give of this? I saw another game that had basically like a Huan Ti, like a snake lady, and it had boobs and like a bikini top, and it's a snake with breasts, and it's like, dude, she's a reptile. It's like there's so many troublesome avenues that you can go down with over-sexualizing a character that is problematic, and I'd probably bulk a little too hard at it. But with LaCluck, if you take a look at her design, isn't that what Disney kind of does with over-feminizing things? Or what exactly? I'm going to continue working on this sucker. Yeah, I mean, Disney's been writing this Disney princess thing, and I'll admit, like, Moana was one of my favorite designs they've done, because it's like, it's a young teenage woman. It's not a Barbie doll. Um, I probably get more mad about this than even some women in the tabletop industry do. Like, I know a lot of miniature. Well, let me rephrase that. Pause. Backstep. Some of my miniature painting friends who are women appreciate having a model or a mini painted that is a sexualized human being like Kingdom Death. Because it's fun to paint, it's fun to look at, fun to draw, that kind of thing. But yeah, there's Disney focuses really hard on the body shapes. You know, your traditional guys, broad-shouldered, thin in the hips, goes down from there, generally muscular. Women they have a bust and they have a butt, especially Pixar. They give those moms that dump truck butt, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's just when it comes to Wander, I try so hard not to do that because I don't want to be labeled as furry, because it's not. That being said, not all furry art is technically sexualized. That's a misunderstood thing about those guys. I'm sure they would love that to be the case, to be better understood. But I try not to do it specifically to over-sexualize a character, because what's the worst case scenario that I'm going to run into is that someone goes, oh, well, Captain LaCluck's a guy. It's like, well, you know, we wrote her as a girl. It's like, well, it doesn't look like one. It's like, doesn't have to. There's not a whole lot of issues with having her being kind of androgynous one way or another. But yeah, if I was to feminine her up, you know, I could give her a bust, I could give her a smaller waist, but, you know, LaCluck's not particularly feminine. She's a ghost pirate chicken captain. And, she is going to mess someone up, and she does not care if you mistake her for a man. She'll cut you down in the same process. There's just different body types and different interpretations. I think the focus should be less on her being a woman or a man, and be more that she's a terrifying force of nature. Sorry if that answer was passionate. It's just something I've discussed in depth about Wander many, many, many times with Jonathan, about how we want these characters to be represented. Oh. Oh, I don't think we have a name for the ship yet. And technically, it wasn't her ship. Her ship was, she actually mutineered the ship from Captain Hook, who is now Hook the Cook. I don't know if we come up with a name for the ship yet. We may have. I think we came up with something and then wrote it down somewhere, but not as of yet, in my memory. My recent memory, that is. So there's actually something I did. Hold on. Feel free to keep the questions coming, buddy. You know I appreciate this stuff. Gives you something to talk about and focus on while I'm drawing all this. I'm just looking up a file real quick, so give me a second. Wander Games, LaCluck's Revenge, Art. Here we go. I just want to look at how I did something real quick. Yeah, there we go. Oh, glad you like hearing about it, man. Yeah, sorry if I get a little worked up about it every now and then. I just, it kind of can't be helped. What do we call this? Ghost render. How did this look? Alright, I think I got it. We sometimes can get, the artsy types sometimes can get opinionated about things. What's my favorite new Wanderer setting that I've heard suggested? Sorry, I'm just checking this ghost stuff coming out. I don't know. There's been a couple. So some of my favorites are admittedly some of the ideas we've come up with, as in like internal Panda Cult Games design conversations. Oh yeah, so we actually had an idea for a jungle setting. So we were going to mix like Egyptian and Mayan together to create this kind of like Golomancy ancient, like if you don't remember Mary Fix-It. The idea would be it's like this kind of Golomancy ancient civilization that really like mastered golems, and they even integrated themselves with it. So the idea would be it's like mummies to a degree, but sorry, coloring. It'd be like mummies mixed with like golem tech. So, you know, you'd have like a baboon with like multiple arms that are made out of like golem stuff. And we always really like that idea as a setting. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, like a jungle setting for that would be really cool. Like golems and baboons and leopards and things like that. We had another idea, which we'll see. That may be something official at some point or another. For a kind of fire and ice expansion, or not expansion, fire and ice setting for the game. Basically, Clockwork Keep. So it would be this mechanical tower, kind of in the Frostlands, where this king... It's both. So Golomancy is magical and technological. Hold on, I gotta do a little... So Golomancy is basically mechanical magic that has been formed to basically give autonomous working life to inanimate objects. So like Mary Fix-It's Golem. It's a perfect example. It's basically, it's mostly science, but taking magical elements to give them like an endless power source and things like that. I think Mary Fix-It's done more for that than almost any other creation in the Wonder World overall. Yeah, Ghost Flames. Okay. Actually, I don't know if I want them to come all the way up into the fingers. I may want to just phase this back a bit. That looks pretty freaking cool. Oh man, I'm digging it. All right. No, Grit can't talk. It's more of a, he's a medium for Mary to control. He's got a bit of sentience, but he can't really talk. So the idea with the Golemomancers was originally that they were going to, well, it hasn't actually changed, so no need to say originally. The Golemomancers basically control these things and build them, and kind of spend a majority of their life going on an adventure. Like, just because you build a golem doesn't necessarily mean that your time with that golem is up and over. So Mary Fix-It, oh lord, sorry. Whenever they say stuff, it throws me off. There we go. So whenever they make a golem, it's not just like it's a one-shot deal and they're just like, all right, well, trash this thing, I'm done with it. No, the idea behind the Golemomancers is they make a golem, and then through trial and error and traveling with it, they figure out better ways to improve it to eventually like make the ultimate creation. So like, even though we're seeing Mary fix it with Grit as he stands, long term what I'd like to do is kind of upgrade Grit. Like if Mary Fix-It ever was released as a character again, which she may for that Clockwork Keep expansion or full-blown game, we don't know yet. But if that happens, you know, I kind of want her to be, you know, show some time that she's been traveling with Grit, doing cool stuff, and show that Grit has been worked on and he's been growing over time and learning things as he goes as well. You know, maybe at some point or another Grit does learn how to speak. But short term, I think that'd be something in Golemancy that they're like, no one has ever done that before. Maybe Mary Fix-It will be the first one to do it. Who knows? I like this weird, like, ectoplasmy stuff coming out of it. Superman. What an underrated movie. That's a great film. What? Wait. Oh yeah, that was Vin Diesel, wasn't it? Reunited a Parts show. No, I haven't. It sounds familiar though. Like I think I've been reading some stuff about that recently. Is that show where Josh Gad is like bringing people from old franchises together, like Lord of the Rings and things like that? Nice. No, I haven't done it, but it looks really interesting. He's bringing a lot of interesting crews together. Oh, what? I'm sure we need to like post that somewhere. How was the Ghostbusters one? It's gotta be weird without Harold Ramis there. Oh, she was there too? Hells yeah, dude. Oh yeah, they've been promoting some stuff about that. You know, I enjoyed Umbrella Academy. I heard the comics were like a lot darker. That's some of my friends' main complaints about it, but I like the show. I heard it did a lot more with the characters than the comics did. It's actually surprising. Normally it's not the show that does that. It's always that one guy. But they did this differently here. Well, we aren't there. No, I really enjoyed season 1. It was good seeing Ellen Page back in acting again. Yeah, I was talking on the stream earlier about how I've been watching My Hero Academia. Not sure how much into anime you are, Tristan, but no, I just got to season 4 of that show, and I've been loving it. It's been a whole bunch of fun. It's good. It's fun. I mean, it depends on what kind of viewer you are. Like, since it's a Shonen Jump thing, it just means it's never going to end. Which is my only problem I've had with those things in the past. Like, One Piece was a really fun show to watch, but it's just like there was just a never-ending amount of episodes, so it just got really difficult for me to kind of keep track of everything in it. But no, it's been really good. Oh, if you're gonna watch Full Metal Alchemist, watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The original show is good, but Brotherhood follows the books a lot closer. And yeah, it's really, really, really solid. I enjoyed it. Full Metal Alchemist was one of those shows, though, when it came out, it was such a, like, lightning bolt, quality-wise, that, like, all of a sudden, all the anime kids that I was in college with, like, all started, like, talking about it nonstop and dressing up like the characters. And, you know, in art school, that's not the weirdest thing, but it kind of became a lot. And I ended up not watching the show just because of that for a long while, but, eventually, I got around to watching it, and it was excellent. Oh. Alright, well, I think that's it for the day. I've made some good progress that I wanted to, and I'm at a very, very, very good point with this. Very happy with it. Shadows are applied. Most of my ghost rendering is done. I need to do some more on the plume up top, but short term, I think this is good for the day, which I'm very proud of. Hopefully the recording has actually kept up instead of doing what it did last time, 6 minutes of it and then it died out, unless it's on Facebook. Anyways, that is it for me today. Thank you for joining me, and thanks for hanging out, Tristan. I appreciate it. To everyone else who popped on the show, thank you guys for popping in here. It's always great to talk to you guys. And to anyone listening to the recording, make sure to like, subscribe, share, post, comment, etc., etc., wherever you can. I've officially switched the Twitch name from Heathosaurus Art to Art of HF. So now on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, it's all at Art of HF, so just look it up. That's the easiest way to do it. And yeah, that's it, guys. Well, until next Tuesday, unless barring some act of God or me getting sick again or something crazy happening, I will be streaming from 2 to 4, and it will be great. But yeah, that is it. And you guys have been great. Oh, Lord. I think I just got disconnected. We'll see. Anyways, that is the end of the stream, and yeah, I will see you guys next Tuesday. Peace.